Welcome to this edition of Butler's Inventor Shutbox. Today, to be successful, we want to make sure that we're set up with Inventor on a computer like I have here. You also want to make sure that this drawing sheet is sitting on the table next to you so that you can reference it for dimensions. And the video should be playing on your iPad sitting next to you as well. If you take a look at these three parts, all three sides are exactly the same. The only difference is that the holes are in different places on the sides. Each of the parts has a horizontal distance of 0.5 and a vertical distance of 1.38. So we're going to begin with that, and then we're going to extrude it back 9.88 inches. So let's start with that. Let's go up to the orange file in the top left-hand corner of the screen and select New. We're going to choose Standard IPT and click Create. We're going to take a 2D sketch from our ribbon bar in the top, place it on our XY plane, and click Front in our World View Cube. Selecting the rectangle tool from the Create section in our ribbon bar, we're going to click on our origin. When we get our green dot, click, stretch out our rectangle to the upper right hand quadrant. Our horizontal dimension is 0.5, press the Tab key on the keyboard. Our vertical dimension is 1.38, and then press Enter on the keyboard. Go up to our ribbon bar, we're going to select the green check mark Finish Sketch. Let's go home in our World View Cube, and let's extrude all. When you take a look at this, our orange arrow is coming towards us. We want to flip that around by choosing this icon right here. Orange arrow is going away from us, our sketch is on the front, and we're going to change our distance to 9.88 inches, and then click OK. Let's go home. Looking good so far. Let's take a look at our drawing again. There's another rectangle in here that the bottom is going to get slid into when we do our assembly. The horizontal dimension is 0.19, the vertical dimension is 0.13, and the height off the bottom is 0.13 as well. So let's create that. We're going to take a 2D sketch, place it on your front view here, and then we're going to get our rectangle tool from the ribbon bar. When we come to the right hand side of our part, it's going to highlight, and then we're going to click and stretch out a rectangle. The horizontal distance is 0.19. Press the Tab key on your keyboard. The vertical distance is 0.13, and then press Enter on the keyboard. We also have to add one more dimension, so we're going to select Dimension from the top in our ribbon bar and click the bottom of our part, the bottom of the rectangle we just created. Bring this dimension out to the side, and we're going to change that dimension to 0.13 and click the green check mark. With that being done, we're going to go to green check mark, Finish Sketch in the top ribbon bar, and we're going to select Extrude. We're going to flip our direction for the extrusion because you can see this is going the wrong way, so we're going to flip it around. We also want to make sure that this icon right here, Through All, is selected. It looks like a stack of pancakes with a fork in the middle of it. And we also want to make sure in our Output section we have Cut selected, and then click OK. Looking good so far. Time for that hole. The center point of this hole is 1.38 in from the side, 0.38 down from the top. Let's do that first. So let's take a 2D sketch, place it on our right side view, and then click right in our World View Cube to zoom all. And then we're going to get our point tool. We're going to locate our point and place it. Then we're going to get our dimension tool from the top in the ribbon bar, and we're going to click the top of our part, click the point of our part, bring that out to the side. This distance is 0.38. Either press Enter on the keyboard or this green check mark here. Then we're going to dimension from the right hand side of our part to the point. Bring that dimension up. This dimension is 1.38 and green check mark or Enter on your keyboard. Then we're going to green check mark Finish Sketch. And let's take a look at that hole specification. The hole has a diameter of 0.25 and goes all the way through. So let's complete that next. From our ribbon bar at the top, we're going to select our hole feature. And in our hole feature, we want to have a simple hole with no seat. We want the Through All icon selected. That looks like a stack of pancakes with a fork in it. And our dimension that we want to end up for our diameter is changed to 0.25. And then click OK. Take a look at our drawing. Our material specifies that it should be yellow pine, and then we're going to save as to our H drive and call it left side. Let's go up to our orange file. Oops, sorry, we got to go and change our material first. Let's go up to the default section and above our ribbon bar. Click on that pull down arrow there. We're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and we're going to choose yellow pine. Now we're going to go up to the orange file in the top left hand corner of the screen and click Save As. Make sure this is going to your H drive, first initial last name 000, and part number 1 is not a good file name. We're going to change this to left side and then click Save. Once that saves, we can bottom X to close out, and let's take a look at our next part here for the right side. Same exact shape, but the hole's in the wrong spot. Let's start with this rectangle first, 0.5 for the horizontal, 1.38 for our vertical dimension, and extruded 9.88 inches. So let's begin this part. Orange file, go down to New. We're going to choose standard.ipt, this one right here, and click Create. We're going to start with our 2D sketch, the drawing in the green plus mark. Click on your XY plane, and then front in our world view cube. Starting with our rectangle tool, we're going to begin at our origin. Once you get your green dot, click, let go of the mouse button, stretch out a rectangle. This horizontal dimension is 0.5. Press the Tab key on the keyboard. Our vertical dimension is 1.38, and then press Enter on the keyboard. Up to the top in our ribbon bar, we're going to click on the green check mark Finish Sketch. Go to our home view and zoom all, or go to home, and we're going to extrude this part in the flip direction. That brings our sketch to the front, orange arrow pointing to the back, and we're going to change our dimension to 9.88 and click OK. Let's go to home again. Now from our drawing, we have this rectangle for the bottom to fit in. Once again, that's 0.19 by 0.13, and it's lifted off the bottom 0.13 as well. We're going to take a 2D sketch, place that on our front view. Click Front in your World View Cube to zoom in, and then we're going to choose our rectangle tool. When we get to the right-hand side of our part, we're going to go highlight it. We're going to click Stretch Out a Rectangle. This rectangle has a horizontal distance of 0.19. Press the Tab key on the keyboard. A vertical distance of 0.13. Press Enter on the keyboard. And now we're going to go up to the top to add that other dimension. Click your Dimension tool, and we're going to select the bottom of our part, the bottom of our rectangle, and bring this dimension off to the side. Click to place it. This dimension is 0.13 up from the bottom. Enter on the keyboard or a green check mark. And then in the ribbon bar, we're going to green check mark to finish sketch as well. And now we're going to extrude that slot. So we're going to click Extrude. Once again, since it's going the wrong direction, we're going to flip it by clicking this icon here. We want to choose Through All, which looks like this icon, stack of pancakes with a fork in the middle of it. And we're also going to make sure that our Cut option is selected in our output. And click OK. Next, let's take a look at that hole. The center point of this hole is 1.38 in from the side and 0.38 down from the top. To complete that, we're going to get our 2D sketch. Place it on your right side view. We're going to get our point tool, place it over here towards the right side of your part, and then we're going to dimension that. Get your dimension tool from the top. We're going to click the top of our part, click your point when they turn red, click, and then bring this dimension out to the side. This dimension is 0.38, green check mark. We're also going to dimension from the left-hand side of our part when it turns red to the point when it turns red. Bring this dimension up and click to place it. This dimension is 1.38 and green check mark. In our ribbon bar, we're going to click the green check mark Finish Sketch, and we're going to take a look at that hole specification. Right here, you can see that hole diameter is 0.25 and goes all the way through. Back on our part, we're going to go up to the ribbon bar in the Modify section, click on Hole. We want to have a simple hole with no seat. Through All should be selected here. It looks like a stack of pancakes with a fork in the middle of it. And our diameter, we're going to take and change to 0.25. Once you have those settings made, click OK. Next, our material should be specified as yellow pine, and then save as the right side. Back on our part, we're going to go up to the top to the default section above the ribbon bar, click on the pull down menu. We're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, find Yellow Pine. Once we choose that, we're going to go over to the orange file in the top left hand corner of the screen, click Save As. Make sure we're in our H drive, and we're going to change that file name to Right Side. Once we have your H drive and Right Side for the file name, click Save, and we're ready to move on to our third part. I'm going to bottom X here in Inventor to close that part out, and taking a look at my reference drawing here, I can see that it's the exact same shape, 0.5 for the rectangle horizontal, 1.38 for the height, and we're going to extrude it back 9.88 inches. Let's go up to the orange file in the top left hand corner of the screen, select New. We're going to choose standard.ipt and click Create. 2D sketch we're going to place on the XY plane. Click Front in our World View Cube, and we're going to select our rectangle tool to begin at our origin. Once we get our green dot, click, stretch out a rectangle. Our horizontal dimension is 0.5. Press the Tab key on the keyboard. Our vertical dimension is 1.38. Press Enter on the keyboard. We're going to green check mark Finish Sketch. Go home. And we're going to extrude this in a flip direction. Enter in a dimension of 9.88 inches and click OK. Let's go to Zoom All or Go Home in our World View Cube. Next, we have that slot for the bottom to fit into. It's 0.19 horizontal by 0.13 and lifted up off the bottom 0.13 as well. We're going to take a 2D sketch, place this on our front view. We're going to get our rectangle tool, start on our right hand side. When it highlights, click, stretch out a rectangle. This is 0.19 for the horizontal dimension. Press Tab key on the keyboard. 0.13 for the vertical dimension. Press Enter. We're also going to add that other dimension. So we're going to get our dimension tool from the ribbon bar at the top. Click the bottom of your part, the bottom of the rectangle we just created. Bring this out. This dimension is 0.13 and green check mark. Let's go up to the top, green check mark Finish Sketch, and then extrude this. We're going to extrude by clicking the Extrude button in the ribbon bar. We want to flip the direction so it actually goes through and cuts. We want to select Through All. Looks like a stack of pancakes. And we want to make sure the cut section is selected as well in the output. Click OK. Now let's see what's next. We need to save this as Yellow Pine for the material type and then save as Top and Back. So let's go up to the default section for our materials above the ribbon bar. Click on that pull down arrow. We're going to slide all the way down to the bottom and click on Yellow Pine. Go up to the orange file in the top left hand corner of the screen. Click on Save As. Make sure you're in your H drive, and we're going to give this a title of Top and Back. And click Save. Congratulations on completing the first series in your Shutbox parts. We'll see you in the next video for the washer, the dowel, and the bottom. See you next time.